Hey lovelies! Well, as you can see, this week's Fibro edition is me actually out of bed for a change, which is nice. Not that I've spent the last couple of weeks totally in bed, just by the time I'm getting around to doing the Fibro video, I have actually been in bed. I just kind of wanted to do a wee bit of a casual chat. I feel like I'm sort of talking to a friend, because already I do see you all as friends, and I hope you see me as a friend as well, those who follow me for these videos especially. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love doing the beauty videos, I love doing the makeup looks and stuff, but this is always where my heart's going to be, mostly because I want people to understand that they're not alone. Because one thing about having fibromyalgia and CFC and things like that is that you can feel incredibly alone, no matter how many times your friends and family will try and be there for you. They don't fully understand, so you do end up feeling alone quite a lot. So it can be quite hard. So one of the reasons obviously I wanted to do this was so that other people like me could feel like they have somebody who understands them, that they can come to. And it's not just commenting in these videos, you can pop over to my Facebook page, add me as a friend, send me messages in the, send me a private message and I'll chat with you. And I'm here to be your friend, as well as I hope that this helps me as well, because one of the things I've really struggled with is that I've had to start taking antidepressants because of how this whole illness and the way my life has changed has really affected me. And I never expected it to affect me as much as it has, because I mean, I've been sick for most of my life, and that's been okay. I've just kind of got on with it, and yeah, I've had to have time off work, and I've kind of laughed it off and called myself sick note and things, but this has been totally different. And one of the hardest things is whenever people don't understand. I mean, I have one person that has said repeatedly, but you've always been in pain, this is just what you're always like. And I'm like, but you don't get it, this is different, this isn't like the old times, this isn't like whenever I was working and when I was in pain I would sit against the radiator and hope that the heat would help my muscles, or I would take a couple of days off at the end of the week because the first couple of days it had been sore. And this is totally different, because back then there was times in my life when I wasn't in pain. I had a break from it, but the hardest thing is knowing that 24/7 I have this pain, and no matter how much medication I've been on, no matter how much pain relief I've been on, I am still always in pain. I mean, right at this moment I'm wearing 15 milligrams or micrograms, whatever way you say it, of morphine. The patches that comes out 15 milligrams every hour. It's 3 patches. I'm supposed to have one that's 10 and one that's 5, but they kept screwing up, so I've got 3 on at the minute. They look like a patchwork quilt at the back. And I also take tramadol. I've just changed to slow release because I was taking the full dosage of tramadol that I was allowed to take, which I shouldn't have been taking, as well as the Butrans, because really, you know what, I don't even want to get into that, because that'll be another video. Watch this space for the video on ranting about doctors. But anyway, before I got as bad as I am now, I lived off codeine. I took 8 cocodamol a day. Some days it was as little as 2 or 4 a day, which was great. Those days were good, and I was able to work. I mean, my job was physically demanding. Okay, so it wasn't physically demanding for the 12 hours I was there, but for 6 hours of that it was incredibly physically demanding, and then the rest of it, I was a care assistant. I was a nighttime care assistant, so 6 hours of my night was spent doing paperwork, walking the halls, checking on the residents, chatting with the residents who weren't able to sleep and stuff. So it was physically demanding to stay awake, and I mean, during that time I noticed how much harder it was getting to actually cope with that. And And obviously you guys have seen, you know, probably seen the videos on how I ended up to the stage where I'm at today, but I've sort of rambled there. But the whole point is, for me, it has been really, really hard to come to terms with the fact that I am so limited now, and again, having to take antidepressants was something that I never felt that I wanted to have to do, and I struggled with it, and I said no, but it got to the point where I had to go, okay, so it is time. And unfortunately they have just been increased as well. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this past couple of weeks on my channel, rather than Monday, Wednesday, Friday uploading, it's been quite hit and miss of when I can actually get uploading, because the past few weeks have been really, really hard on me. Just with different things that's been going on in my personal life, it's caused an awful lot of flare-ups just through stress and extra physical work that I've been doing that my body just can't cope with. And it's the simplest thing. This is what's so frustrating for me, is I'm walking my father-in-law's dog, and it is so frustrating. I did it 4 days in a row and then ended up in bed for 3 days solid. And I'm like, seriously? Are you kidding me? Walking a dog, and it's not like I'm walking him a million times a day. I take him on one long half-hour walk in the evening. I haven't actually done it for the past couple of nights, because I've now had to do a couple of nights where I take a break, or do one night off the next, do it. And it's really, really annoying, because I want to be able to help my family, I want to be able to be there for them, but I can hardly look after myself. And the hard thing is, it is just me and my husband here, and yes, I have a great, great support in my friend Lynn, who I would be totally lost without. And excuse me, I'm going to take it. I would be totally lost without my friend Lynn, because what on earth is it banging? If I didn't have Lynn in my life, I wouldn't be able to get to the shops to do the simple things. Like the other day, we went out to Boots. She was going to get new work trousers, and we went, okay, we'll go over to Boucher, we'll get some makeup stuff as well. I had a few pennies saved up that I knew I was going to be buying stuff with for different things that I wanted to try this month. So all that info is in my other video. And she has been so supportive and so good, and all I need to do is pick up the phone and say to her, Lynn, look, I need to go here, I need to do this, can you come? And she would do it. And sometimes that makes it harder to even ask for her help, because she is so good about it. And she's gonna go nuts whenever she sees this video as well. Anyway. It is just unfortunate, because obviously my husband works nights, he sleeps all day, and on the days where he is off, it's great, because obviously it's him that takes me to the places I need to go. He was the one that was there with me the other day whenever I had to go to the doctors, from my great conversation again in another video. And he does what he can, but he works 5 nights a week. And some of the days he ends up having to go in during the day as well, so it's all over the place. So obviously then without Lynn, I would be really stuck. So it's been fantastic. I mean, the person that used to be really, really big in my life for helping was my father-in-law, but unfortunately he's just not well enough anymore to be there. This wasn't where I expected this video to go. Part of me can't even remember what I wanted to do this video about tonight. But anyway, luckily for me, over the past couple of weeks, whenever I have been really, really bad and not being able to get out as easy on my own, Lynn was actually off on annual leave, so anything I needed to do, it was a case of Lynn was probably coming over anyway. So I got to do most of the things that I needed to do, and she was there for me. She was there to keep me company on the nights that Thomas was working and I was on my own. So in that sense it has been really good. While I have been in so much pain this past couple of weeks, Lynn has been able to help keep my mind off it, to not lie and wallow in it, because it can get really hard. And that's one of the things that really, really gets me, is some days I just want to sit and cry and cry and cry, and I try not to, but it can get really overwhelming. You know, at the end of the day, we live with a condition or conditions, because most of us don't just have fibromyalgia. You know, I have CFS and whatever else that goes on in my life. But it can get really frustrating because we don't have a lot of people around us who really get it. And, you know, some of the things that I've been reading recently on different places on Facebook has really, really touched me. And I just think it is so true. People just don't take on board just how bad we are. And we're the ones that end up feeling guilty because we can't do things, and we beat ourselves up about it. And it, you know, it's a vicious circle, because we end up feeling worse then physically as well as emotionally. And that's been really hard on me the past couple of weeks, because there's been certain things that I have really wanted to be able to do and unfortunately can't, because I'm not well enough. And you fight it and you fight it, and as I say, you know, you end up being the one that feels worse about it. As I say, I kind of hit record on this here, not really knowing where this video was going to go. I almost feel like it's just a rant about myself. Because I really want to know how you're all doing, and if you don't want to put it in the comments below, send me a private message on here, or pop over to my Facebook page and send me a private message there, or add me as a friend. You know, I want to be here for you as much as doing these videos is helping me. For me, it's like therapy. And I was watching someone else's video earlier on, and they were saying that they started doing videos like this here at night time because of their anxiety, and it was better than walking the streets. And I kind of thought, yeah, you know, that's exactly what this is for me. You know, I was fed up of just sitting feeling so alone. So now I'm looking at a camera and I feel like I'm talking to friends, and I hope that you feel like that whenever you're watching my videos, that you feel like a friend is talking to you. And if you respond to me, or, you know, you feel like you're talking to a friend, because that's what I want to be for you guys. I was thinking of actually doing a live stream session where we could all come together and just sit and, you know, sort of chat, and I would respond to your questions and chat and stuff. And I know it's very early on, obviously, in my, you know, days as a YouTuber, but if it's something that you'd be interested in some evening, maybe after dinner, let me know, because I would love to do that. I would love to get sitting chatting with you all properly like that. Guys, I'm going to sign off here because I think I've ranted long enough. I'm also going to do another rant video this week, and it's just going to be about getting our medication and dealing with doctors and stuff. So the link for that will probably be, I'll put it just above my head as well as in the down bar, so depending on whether you're on a tablet or whether you're on a computer, you know, you'll be able to get a link for it. So pop over and check that out, and I will see you all soon. Love you so much. Mwah. I hope you have pain-free night and sleep really, really well. Good night. Bye.